Pepper says, are you ready to declutter another section of this hoarded basement? I know I am. It is that time of the week again. It is time to declutter another section in this hoarded basement. The beginning of the week, we did a good job getting rid of the stuff that came home from my work. But I decided it is a good idea to keep chopping away in this section right over here.
So for today, we are going to be talking about macro decluttering versus micro decluttering as we clean out this section right behind me. It needs to be decluttered, kind of reorganized. It's kind of become a catch-all from previous videos because certain items didn't really have a home yet, or just I totally forgot about it because I'm ADHD. So yes, we're back in the basement again because the weather this week has been very unsettled. A lot of spotty showers, humidity, pop-up thunderstorms. So it's not really good weather to be outside reorganizing the back shed because that is a whole day process. So that's why we're back down here where we can kind of control the weather in a sense. So the first half of this video, I'm going to be talking about the macro micro decluttering, the difference between the two. And then the second half, I'm going to be talking about my feelings and emotions and just really, as we go through the bags, talk about what I feel as I kind of go through everything. So without further ado, let's get going.
So let's talk about macro decluttering versus micro decluttering. Now, the first time I heard the concept was macro organizing, and micro organizing was from Clutter. And I thought to myself, this concept can absolutely be translated into macro and micro decluttering too. Now, I would define macro decluttering as focusing on the big picture. You can look at the entire room as a whole and not individual parts. People can declutter the whole room in one session. People can start decluttering by beginning at the door and working their way around the room, making decisions on what they are keeping and what they're tossing out, what they're donating, and what they're selling. Macro decluttering has the biggest impact because they are clearing out the entire room in one session. My mom does this. She looks at the room as a whole and can see what needs to be decluttered. And she gives herself a very realistic time frame of decluttering a room. Of course, my mom is more simplistic in the amount of stuff that she has. Since she has a lesser amount of stuff to go through, it's a lot easier and quicker for her to declutter an entire room in 1 hour or less. Now, I definitely do not macro declutter. What I do is micro decluttering. I look at the entire box as a whole, not the entire room. I focus on what's inside of the box. I make decisions on keeping or tossing by pulling out every individual thing in it. As a hoarder, that was a big trait of mine. I had to touch everything in the box before I could make a decision to let go. If I tried to throw away a box without touching and looking at every single thing inside of it, it would have triggered my nervous system into a full-blown panic attack. And even though we've come a far way, I still have some of that behavior left in me. But that's okay because we're still decluttering. Now, I definitely recommend micro decluttering for people with hoarding disorder or even people who just have an overwhelming amount of stuff. Now, I used to be able to only handle one box at a time, but we've grown over the years where now we're do one section at a time, and I feel this still falls under the umbrella of micro decluttering. Now, this approach does take a little longer, but I find myself being so much more successful in micro decluttering because I'm breaking it down into small, achievable goals. I can pay attention to the little details of every item in the box. I can separate the items into categories of keep, sell, donate, trash. This is where I really learned how to declutter. My first decluttering session as a level 4 hoarder was decluttering a drawer. That was my whole project because that's what I believed I could declutter successfully. And that's the difference between macro and micro decluttering.
All right, let's move on to this like desk kind of area because it's definitely become a catch-all. So big Christmas bags. We'll put that with all of the Christmas stuff that I see that are like sentimental school, like end of the year. For me, I do kind of feel like I have to do a KonMari method on all the school sentimental stuff and just kind of downsize it to like a bin per kid. And you heard me right, a bin per child for their school stuff. That's just what's comfortable for me. There is a Mod Podge of stuff in this. Let me bring this down. Oh, hello Pumas from 2003. Did you all have them? Yeah, they're pretty cool, aren't they? Yeah, they are. A ton of plastic bags from Party City. Fair. We can let that go. Oh, okay. Yeah, there are some sentimental stuff in here. Like, this was Tyler's, believe it or not, kindergarten lunchbox. He loved Five Nights at Freddy because his older brother had liked Five Nights at Freddy. Then we have, oh, notebooks. We love our notebooks. This is a goodie bag. A TikTok goodie bag. I mean, there's so much random stuff in here. There really is no need to really hold on to it. I'm feeling good about letting that go. And then, oh, baby shoes. You gotta let me keep the baby shoes. That's all. I am a recovering hoarder, but there's no cure for hoarding disorder. So basically where I'm at now is, yes, decluttering a lot of trash and letting go of stuff, but I almost feel like I'm at the level of an organized hoarder. That's why I went from a 4 to a 1, because it's kind of counted on how much can you access the house. Can you go out the door? Can you use the bathroom? That's kind of how the levels are kind of curated in the medical field. Let's be honest. I've kind of downsized to an organized hoarder, which, you know, hey, is huge progress, but I still have a lot of stuff that once we go back through those organized bins, I can start to downsize it even more. And you know what? That's okay. I'm quite happy with the progress we have made. I will take the title of an organized hoarder still. Now, this chair is pretty much disinfected for as best as we can, but I noticed that there's stuff underneath that I really want to get to, but I have to move some of this stuff out of the way, which would be, you know what this is? A bag of clothes. That's supposed to go to Goodwill. Yep, never took it to Goodwill. So this is everyone's public service announcement. If you have stuff in your trunk to take to Goodwill, take it today. What's in the popsicle bag? It's fall pumpkins. When I made these crafts like 2 years ago, I think I had made these crafts probably, I think it was like 2 years ago, either 2021 or 2022. Oh my gosh, this is when Dollar Tree was $1, but this is fall, this is autumn. I have to put all of this with the fall autumn stuff. And this is, oh, some more Dollar Tree organizers that, oh Lord, just put it in the yard sale. Like, I don't need these, it's fine. Okay, sorry there's a cord in the front, but that's what's powering the lights over here. So I kind of have to keep them on. So trash, I noticed that this bag and also this bag is trash. And this is something that's pretty common, right? A lot of hoarders will hold on to trash for a multitude of reasons, but a lot of times it's because we can see the potential in it. We want to save it, right? I can use this to wrap up something really fragile and keep it out of a landfill. But as I said before, beneath every behavior, there is a feeling. And beneath every feeling, there is a need. So let's meet the need. What is that? Why did I used to feel that I had to hold on to trash? Because I could make it into treasure again. I didn't want to throw it out. I felt bad. Where that really stems from is from my childhood trauma of being bullied in middle school, really bad. And the kids treated me like trash. They treated me like trash. But I knew the treasure of who I was inside because I knew I was such a good person. I was nice to everyone. I was giving. I was loving. And I couldn't understand why I was being treated like trash. For me to hold on to trash was kind of a representation of that in the, you're not trash. I'll turn you into treasure. I can turn you back into being something loved. It was self-soothing, that inner child. And I never really knew that because I didn't have words to put to that. But now we know that. We know that that's the need. The need was self-soothing the inner child trauma. And now I can finally separate myself from the trash because I'm not trash. And trash is inanimate. It doesn't have any feelings. It doesn't feel that it's being thrown away. And to meet the need, I'm going to tell my inner child, tell that 6th and 7th and 8th grader that you're not trash. You're beautiful. You're a great person. You really have a big heart. And to be honest, those kids were probably going through their own stuff. And because you were so nice and never talked back and never stuck up for yourself, they just kept at you because you were an easy target. They knew that you weren't going to say anything back because I didn't want to hurt them back. I didn't want to treat them the way they were treating me. I didn't want to hurt somebody else the way they were hurting me. That's the need. That's where we need to be. So now we can finally see why. Why did we hold on to the trash? It was deeper. It was more than that. It was more than just we want to save it out of a landfill. It was something at the root. And now that we can identify it, we know that we can finally let go of the trash.
For me, the clutter was a trauma response to unprocessed, suppressed emotions. That's what fueled the hoarding disorder, to save everything. But we're in recovery because look at our tossy pile. We were able to let go of a lot of stuff today freely. I feel good about this. I'm not going to regret making any of these decisions to throw this stuff away, and we're going to recycle it as best as we can. And now me and Miss Pepper are very proud to show you the newly opened up space in the basement. We did it. We did micro decluttering. And I hope by sharing macro micro decluttering helps you along in your journey too. We also are very open about the clutter trauma response and the connection between the two. And how we solve that is to recognize that beneath every behavior, there is a feeling. And underneath the feeling, there is a need. Meet that need. And you also will be able to clear out your spaces too. And my hope and my prayer is that this video motivated and encouraged you to clean, declutter, and let go of something in your home today too.